So this random cabin, well, I've called it a schoolhouse, a clubhouse, an outhouse, whatever the hell name comes to mind. I'm living in a cabin in the woods, which is a renovated schoolhouse. We've got only wood heat. We're running electricity off of a battery that we're just changing out like every 2 days. We've got a little kitchen behind me, which we don't have anything to cook with, which I feel is just silly. Why tempt us? But we can make coffee and French press coffee back there. That's our water jug to carry, and then that water jug as well. So we have running tap water, but not really drinkable. I mean, I guess we could, but I'd rather just get stuff from the house and carry it. It's like a mile walk. Not a mile. I don't know, like a 5-10 minute walk. I don't know what that translates to or how far it is. I haven't mapped it, and I'm really bad at guessing distances. So we're kind of, so we're kind of out here. There's another building. It's an A-frame, which is like a little one-bedroom house. It's completely wired for electricity and has an outhouse, which we have as well. We actually have a side-by-side outhouse, in case you want to get fancy and hold hands while you're shitting. And they have running water and electricity and Wi-Fi there, and there's a camper, which is like super sketchy, and Chloe's amazing for living in there because it's like really moldy and there's a lot of rat shit, and it's kind of terrifying. Anyways, so we are in North Carolina right now. For those of you who don't know, I'm from North Carolina. I'm originally from Greensboro. Well, I've lived most of my life there. And so we went into the mountains, and now we're in the mountains, which you can't see, but I'm pointing to. So we're at this guy's house. He basically is trying to start homesteading. Homesteading is basically, I mean, from what I understand, I don't have like a dictionary definition. It's just basically creating your own livable space, self-sustaining, and kind of reusing everything that you can. Like we're splitting logs for firewood for next year, and we're using the wood chips to grow mushrooms, and use the sawdust also in the outhouses to kind of not smell like shit all the time. And then we're growing gardens, and we're composting to add fertilizer to the gardens, and we've got chickens that are laying eggs that we're using in our daily cooking, and it's really cool. It's a great concept, and I think a lot of people should at least experience it and see if it's for you. It's hard. I mean, I'm on my break right now, and it's really tiring work. I was just hauling logs, and I learned to use a wood splitter. I've learned to use a tractor. I've learned to use drive a golf cart. I'm working on chainsaw action. I cut down a tree. Well, I mean, someone else cut down the tree. I cut up the tree, which is fucking cool. So it's not entirely independent, I guess, because you have to use tractors and get gas. And I mean, there's definitely ways to do it without using that, but shit's hard. Fuck that. So you kind of have to rely on society a little bit until you can get a solar-powered tractor, but I don't think your horsepower would be too much at that point. But yeah, this is a really cool place, and we're doing really good things here. This community, I guess you can't really say community. This house that has led to many communities has been a really cool experience. And you can see, I mean, that giant terrifying piece of art back there is something that a project that was done by one of the workers. There's art all around me. Granted, not all of it's good art, and that one's kind of terrifying, but it's really good. Just not the right vibe to be falling asleep next to. I'd hope for more sunshine and rainbows instead of death pyramids with roaches, flies, ants with wings. I don't really know what the hell to call those. But I don't know what else I'm supposed to say, or what else there is to say. About homesteading, at least. My experience here is I've learned a lot. I've gotten a lot of interesting experiences, and I'm learning from not only the owner, Tom, but also Oh, and if you want to find out, Blue Ridge Parkway Napping Institute, I think, is the name of the place on Facebook. If you want to kind of see what this was all about, see Tom and maybe some of the old work wearers. But this has been a difficult endeavor, not just because of the lack of power or the lack of running water, but I mean, I guess we can make it. Tom and I do not get along, and I don't like that. I hate not getting along with people, and I try so hard to be the person that everyone falls in love with, but I guess sometimes can't win people over. So Tom went out of his way to make my life a little bit more difficult because I'm too loud. He says I'm a loud, talky person, and I am a self-starter, which he doesn't like, which I've never heard of in my career working anywhere. But this is about learning new experiences, and I'm trying to be more humble and appreciate the knowledge that he is giving me instead of trying to focus on the negative things, like him giving me all the heavy lifting jobs. But that's cool. I could use a workout. I'm getting a couple pounds here. But it's an all-vegetarian diet here, so that's a really interesting change of pace. I used to eat a lot of meat, and I definitely crave veggies, but I don't think I've ever eaten so many beans and grains in my life, and so much soup. Always soup. But it's 3 meals a day for free in exchange for 24 hours of work a week. You can't really complain about that, even if I do have to start my own fire every night and sleep in a cabin in the woods next to a gorilla suit. But that's behind the camera. You can't really see that. But yeah, so this is my first experience that's like actually lasted. There were some other situations that weren't so good, but I met some really cool people here. They've given me some really good resources about my next stops. I've got some places I'm going to look at in Central America with hostels and just different communities that are down there that Marina, a girl from Argentina, told me about. And then we also have one of the guys that I'm working with. He's talking about his brother does carpentry and painting in Baltimore, and I really want to stop in Baltimore. So maybe that will be my next stop, but I'm kind of waiting to see back about that. But until I figure something out, safe travels. Let's go, Van Joe.